Welcome back to SME Insights at SME Mission Critical Workforce 2030 at FabTech. I'm Greg Jones. I'm Director of Strategic Programs and Partnerships with SME. And today I'm speaking with Rebecca Kornack, Computer Science Elementary School Content Manager with Chicago Public Schools. This conversation will bring you insights on the first Robotics, first Lego League program at Chicago Public Schools. Rebecca, welcome to SME Insights.
Thanks for having me, Greg. It's great to be here.
Good to see you again.
Yes.
We've been working with First Illinois and First Robotics at Chicago Public Schools for quite some time. How long has Chicago Public Schools Computer Science Administration been charged with First Robotics program, and how long have you been involved?
So I've been involved since about 2021 with Chicago Public Schools and computer science. We were involved with First Lego League for many years before I came here. But it was really in 2021 that we decided to go all in and create a pathway for K to 12 in terms of robotics and really go in on first and try to scale the access to the program across the district.
Yeah, that's great. First Lego League concentrates on students that are in the elementary school age. Great to get students working in robotics at that early age. Do you know when First Lego League partnered together to start an elementary school program?
It was a long time ago. It was maybe, I'd say the late 90s, early 2000s is when First Lego League first started. And since when First Lego League started, they had First Lego League Challenge, which is for middle school students, 4th to 8th grade. And then they had a First Lego League Junior, which was the lower grades, so pre-K through 3rd grade. And around 2022, they shifted. And so instead of having just two levels of First Lego League, they have 3 levels now. So there's a pre-K to 1st grade Discover level that then moves on to First Lego League Explore, which is 1st to 3rd grade, and then 4th to 8th grade is the middle school level, the Challenge.
Wow, I guess I wasn't aware that they're preschool. That's really early. That's great. And these challenges, they're not just about building Lego blocks, right?
No, each year there's a new theme, there's a new challenge for students to engage in. And so even if students had been doing this for multiple years, each year is sort of a new adventure. You know, this year the theme is unearthed around archaeology. Last year the theme was submerged around oceans and exploring oceans. And so there's different models for students to engage with. There's different challenges for them to explore, different solutions to think about, depending on whatever the theme is for the year.
Yeah, that's great. How many Chicago Public Schools have First Lego League teams, and how many students is that, and how many teachers and how many mentors?
So last year we had over 8,000 students participate in First Lego League at all 3 levels. We have some schools that do after-school programs or enrichment programs where there might be less students that they have in a space, but we have some schools that bring that inside the classroom and do in-school instruction with First Lego League as part of curriculum, and so that reaches a lot more students in schools. But for each of the levels, we have quite a few schools that either choose to do enrichment or choose to do in-school programming. But our largest implementation of First Lego League by far is the Challenge program, which is in about 150 schools and has grown since when I started. We were in about 30 schools. It was right after COVID, so there was some, the program shrank a little bit in terms of schools that were continuing to do it, and they weren't being really successful. We didn't see a high percentage of schools who started the season and then finished the season. And so we decided to kind of revamp the resources and structures we had to support that program in particular in the spring of 2021. And then from there, we really launched into expanding the program in the fall of 2021. And so it's grown from those about 35 schools to over 150 schools that participate. And all the students that are impacted. We run multiple events each year to bring together all of our high school and elementary programming so that our elementary students can see the pathways they have access to in high school and what their skills what opportunities their skills can get them. A lot of times our elementary students don't get to see professionals that do these different career paths. They don't get to see engineers or any kind of computer scientists or these technical jobs. They don't get access to a lot of that. A lot of the students and schools that we work with, their communities don't have a history of STEM. Their families might not have participated in those career fields. And so it's really important for us to really expose students to the full possibilities that they have in front of them and get them engaged early so that they can start to say, hey, maybe this is for me. Maybe I can pursue a pathway like this, and at least they can have skills and take them as far as they want them to go. They might not all end up being an engineer or a computer scientist or something like that, but they can at least take their skills where they want them to go.
Yeah, really important to show them the pathways and what those job functions really mean, what they look like. You mentioned consistency, sustainability of the teams. That can be, it's somewhat of a problematic issue. Funding is an issue. So I know Chicago Public Schools funding comes through the Children First Fund. Can you talk about how companies, manufacturers, family foundations can get involved with you to provide funding support for the program through Children First Fund?
Sure. Anyone who's interested in helping to financially support this initiative in our schools can go through our Children's First Fund, which manages donations to the district. And those donations can be earmarked specifically for us and for this program, and it will go directly to the student programs that we run within First. So it's a pretty easy process in terms of donations, in terms of contributing to the funding of those programs.
Very worthwhile programs too. You're coming up on a launch this season, right? We're in the month of September, and on September 27th it is? Yeah. The Windy City Windup is happening. Can you talk about where that's happening, when it's happening, the location where it's happening?
Sure. We are having our first Legally Challenge launch at the Windy City Windup, which is an FRC tournament. So one of our highest level of high school robotics. They will be having a preseason or an out-of-season tournament there. And we are going to be using that as our launch space for this season. We find that it is helpful to bring together teams at the beginning of the season to jumpstart them. A lot of our teams don't get as much time as other students in other districts or other areas to work on the challenge for the year and to work on what they need to do for competition. And so we find that giving them some concentrated time to really develop some of those skills is really helpful. And so this year we are going to be at the Windy City Windup at Taft High School on the north side of the city on September 27th. The kickoff will run from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. The FRC tournament runs from about 8 to 5, so it'll be long. It's longer than the time that the kickoff will be there. But we're really hoping to give students an opportunity to see a live FRC tournament because a lot of them have never seen that. They've seen these large robots that high schoolers use, but they've never seen them in action. They've never seen the pit area. What does it take to actually make one of those robots function? How do you build it? They don't know all the different areas of, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, computer science. Like they don't know how all those fit together and that you need all of these things in order to see one of those robots be able to do all of these things. And so that we're really excited about that. We are partnering with the Griffin Museum of Science and Industry to do a mechatronics workshop to expose students to some different mechanisms that might be useful for their robot to approach this year's missions. Some of our FTC high schools robotics students are going to lead our middle schoolers through a table game analysis where they really look at the missions on the table this year and see how could we go about solving these? What is necessary in order to be successful with them? And how could that translate into a robot construction? And then we're hoping to also have some public speaking workshop there for them because a lot of the program is focused on them communicating to other adults about what they've done and other people. And so we really try to infuse as much as we can with developing those soft skills and helping them feel confident and be able to communicate exactly what they know to people they don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. The FRC teams especially, they're not just building robots. There's a business manager, there's a marketing person, there's all sorts of job functions that they're doing on that team. And so I think to be able to show all those career pathways, it's really great and interesting. You mentioned mechatronics and how important that is. Big skills gap in manufacturing across all industries, really. But in our world, students who study mechatronics are going to get into one of those industrial maintenance technology positions that's going to allow them to fix robots and fix automation equipment and fix very high technology stuff, very well paying jobs. And that's a great career track for these kids to be able to see at such a young age.
Yes, and that's really our goal, is that early exposure will really cement some of those ideas with our students so that it becomes a part of their identity and they want to pursue those
Yeah.
pathways.
Yeah, that's great. Well, Rebecca, it's great to have you on SME Insights. It's good to see you again. Thanks for being here. Absolutely.